Speaking of Jonathan Taylor, Stephen Holder of ESPN.com reported yesterday 6 teams have spoken to the Colts. 6 out of 31 have spoken to the Colts. 2 have made an offer, and the Colts have set a Tuesday deadline for doing the deal. Now, when I saw that, my thought was they're just going to take the best offer they get. They're going to be done with this. We want volunteers, not hostages. We just have to move on. We just have to declare victory and retreat. We can't have this hanging over us all year. We can't have this question of whether or not he's going to play. Is he holding in? What's going on? We have a team that we have to get ready for this season. Because think of it this way, Chris. If the deadline is we get a deal done or you're here, either we get what we want for you or you play for us this year, does that really solve anything? Does that make it any better?
No, it does not.
Why would Tuesday be the deadline to trade him? You trade him when you get the deal that you want. I think this is a message to any team out there. You come with your best offer by next Tuesday, and we're taking the best one, period. That was my gut feeling. I originally thought they weren't going to find anyone to placate the Colts and to placate Jonathan Taylor. But if there's 2 teams that have offers on the table, and if the Colts are motivated to move him no matter what, as long as Jonathan Taylor's happy with the financial terms, whatever they may be, and who knows, maybe a team's just going to trade for the contract as is. Maybe Taylor will be happy with that. Just get me out of Indianapolis. But I feel like this thing's getting done now. I've done a 180 from how I felt 2 days ago because that Tuesday deadline, that's the only way to make the Tuesday deadline make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think here. This is what I got to see is to believe it. I mean, I want to agree with you to a degree, but you think they'll do it if it's just a 5th round pick, a 4th round pick? Again, I don't think they're going to get a 1st or a 2nd round pick for Jonathan Taylor right now with how this looks, right? I don't think so. That would be shocking to me. So you get a mid-round, a late-round pick. Do you think they would still do it there, Mike? I'm asking you. I mean, I don't know either. I don't have a great feel for where their head's at in this situation right now and what, how desperate they are or how badly they want to get it resolved.
Now, look, there's also a chance because I'm reacting to this news with the assumption that a reasonable person is making these decisions. There is a chance that Jim Irsay is the one who's saying, this is going to get done by Tuesday. We get what we want by Tuesday, and after Tuesday, I don't want to hear about it anymore. Jonathan Taylor is here. He's under contract. We have his rights, and if he doesn't like it, then just don't play. Okay, so it's possible that this is Irsay's caveat, that this is his extra little thing on the situation, that it was how Chris Ballard even finagled the opportunity to try to trade Jonathan Taylor and move on from a guy who doesn't want to be there. So maybe, just maybe, Irsay is the one who's demanding that they slam the door on Tuesday, and maybe they won't get what they want by Tuesday. And maybe it will be Jonathan Taylor is stuck with the Colts. That's possible too. Because, again, it's difficult for those who are rational, I like to think that most of the time I am, to anticipate the behavior of those who may be irrational. And it could be that Jim Irsay has applied an irrational limitation on this arrangement, which will make it harder, not easier, to do a deal.
Yeah, I don't doubt what you're saying there, too. You're right. That's kind of the wild card in this. It is. And I think ultimately, too, just from an X's and O's standpoint, they don't want to do this. We know that. I mean, again, you look at who they got on the roster at the running back position. It's not real impressive. You got a guy like Kenyon Drake on there, but we know it's coming to the end for him. He had a good run. Zach Moss, we don't know what he can be, and he was, not all that impressive up with the Buffalo Bills, had a few injuries here and there. So that's where it's I'm just intrigued to see where it goes. Because Jonathan Taylor, the run game, all that was going to be a big part of not only helping the football team, but helping your rookie quarterback develop too. And this takes a leg out from that. And yeah, I don't know. I guess in my heart of hearts here, I don't think anything's going to happen because I don't think anybody's going to trade anything, substantially good enough to let the Colts justify doing that or making it, selling that to their fan base, and then him going somewhere and rushing for 1,300 yards and being thrown back in their face because they did it for a 6th-round pick. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, think about this big picture. 31 other teams in the NFL, one of the best running backs available in trade. Only 6 teams
Yeah.
Less than 20% of the league.
Right.
Even called.
Right.
And they call all the time. We'll see these breathless reports in the offseason. Oh, the Bears are getting calls about the first overall pick. Yeah, it happens all the time. They call about everybody. That's how they communicate. The general managers, hey, what about this? What about this? Hypothetically this, hypothetically that. They're just kind of sniffing around to see if there's an opening there. And to only get 6 calls, that's the extent of the curiosity. 20% of the league expressed any curiosity in this. That's not a good sign. 2 offers. First of all, we don't know who made the offers, and there's a school of thought in league circles that if they're mystery teams, they don't exist.
That's what I would say.
We don't know what the offers are.
Right.
We don't know what the offers are. What are they? We don't know. They got 2 offers. Oh, okay. What? We know how the Dolphins are. There was a report this morning. The Dolphins at one point called about Josh Jacobs. I think the Dolphins are content to call about any of these running backs as long as they get them for their terms. They wanted Dalvin Cook, but what, $2 million a year?
Right.
$2.5 million a year?
Right.
So that's the problem. We don't know how real any of this is. And I keep going back to why a Tuesday deadline, and it very well may be. And now that we talk it through, okay, my first thought was they're just going to take the best offer. Maybe they recognize, given the lack of activity they've gotten so far in 3 days, 20% of the league calls, we get 2 offers, and maybe they're not that good. We just got to end this. We got to end this and get ready for the season.
Yeah, I know. There does become a point where, would they cut him loose? Do they feel like it's detrimental to that point where you just cut him and say, see ya, you're out of here? I have a hard time thinking that Irsay would get behind that and let Jonathan Taylor let him do that. I feel like it's they get the trade they want, or they're going to bring him back and go, you're here, and if you don't want to play, so be it. That's fine. You're just going to sit it out then, and you're going to waste a year of your career. It seems like they're willing to play that type of hardball there.
Yeah, who's going to pay you $16 million a year next year if you've gone 2 years where you haven't put anything good on film?
Exactly.
Grand scheme of things. He had 1,811 yards in 2021. Last year he missed 6 games due to injury. This year he hardly plays because he wants to go chase his big contract. Who's going to give it to him next year? And there's that whole collusion thing we got to keep an eye on. Who's going to pay this guy a ton of money and become the team that everyone else is pissed at? Because the market is exactly where we want it to be at running back. And you're going to blow it up. You're going to turn it into, something that it maybe used to be, but no longer is. So, yeah, I can understand why teams would not want it to be known that they're interested in Jonathan Taylor. You don't want to create an expectation that you're going to go get him if you're just not going to give what the Colts want. But still, when I hear 2 teams and they aren't named, I wonder, are there any teams? And when we don't know what the offers are, I wonder if the offers are, embarrassingly low. All right, let's take a break.
I'm with you there. Yeah, go ahead.
The best version of Tua is salty Tua. Yesterday, we got a little bit of salty Tua in comments that were not directed at us. We'll tell you what that was when PFT Live continues right after this. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.